this video, I'm going to show you how to easily make these sunflower cookies perfect for the autumn season. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. Here are the things that I'm going to use: a 3.5-inch flower or daisy cookie cutter, white sanding sugar, brown and golden yellow food coloring by Wilton, orange petal dust, not to be confused with shimmer dust, and a brush. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright guys, to get started on these really easy fall sunflower cookies, you're going to be needing a smaller round cookie cutter, and depending on the size of your flower cookie cutter, go ahead and get one that's a little bit smaller here so you can put it in the center. This is almost a 2-inch, it's just short of 2 inches. And so I'm going to place it in the center. Now you can use an edible marker and do a line like this, or you just can use your tool. I find it just easier with the tool, and also I don't ruin the tip of my markers. But as long as you can see the line on there, that'll be fine. So go ahead and fill the center in. I have my brown in a tip 4. This is in a medium consistency, as a little bit more on the thicker side, because I can't have it too runny, or else with the weight of the sanding sugar, it's going to want to expand, and I don't want to lose that round shape. So keep it in a medium to thicker consistency. Now I do have a little brush here which I'm going to use to brush off the sanding sugar. So keep that handy. And so I have my icing in tip 4, and I'm just going to fill that circle in somewhat quickly, because we want to add that sanding sugar to that wet icing. So go ahead and quickly smooth it out. Alright, so really quickly now, add your sanding sugar. And this is just plain white sanding sugar. It can be found pretty much anywhere. And go ahead and remove that excess. Now if your icing is in the right consistency, your icing should not go anywhere. It should stay put. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest. Set this aside. I'm going to give them around an hour or so to dry. I always say the longer the better. I will be going in with the yellow, so I don't want any of this brown to absorb into it, or else I'll get like a little halo on my yellow. So I'm just give it plenty of time to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so this has had time to dry. So I have here my golden yellow in a thick consistency in a tip 70. And it is a leaf tip, and I'm going to use it as a petal tip. And what I like to do is I try to put it really close to the cookie and not try to attach it too much to that brown, because it has texture because of the sugar crystals, and it will have a little bit of harder time to attach because the surface is not smooth. So if you find that when you're piping your petal and it comes off, I do suggest kind of putting your tip at an angle and attaching it more directly to the cookie and not so much to that brown center, because of that texture, and because your icing is in a drier, thicker consistency, they both will have a hard time to attach. So go ahead and do every other petal. And as you see there, I'm trying to attach it more to the cookie and not to that center part. And I am cleaning my tip every time that I do a petal, because I don't want leftover icing to kind of mess up my petal. And I also bring in that tip at the end, because sometimes it'll split, and I want my petal to have a point. So I would normally give this about a minute or two to dry. Not completely dry solid, but just so when you go in with your next icing or your next petal, it doesn't want to join together and then it'll lose that separation. But I'm just going to go ahead and continue on. But when you do these at home, just give it about a minute. Go ahead and do the rest and come back to where you started. So just go ahead and fill the remaining empty petals. All right, last one. Now I would give this about an hour or so to dry. The longer the better. That way we can continue on with the rest of the detail. So I'm going to finish up the rest and then come back. That looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright guys, so I gave the petals enough time to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a second petal, and that's just adding one of the little petals right on top of the other one. And this is going to give the flower a more fuller look, a more realistic look. So just go ahead and pipe it right on top of the other one. And as you see, I'm doing one, leaving an empty one, doing another one, leaving an empty one, like that. Just giving it some time to dry. So I'm going to move on to this one here. Just I did this one just about 2 minutes ago, so I'm just giving that petal some time to crust. Alright, so after this, just go ahead and set it aside once again to dry. Alright guys, so after you give this some time to dry, go ahead with your petal dust, and remember, do use the petal dust. It's the matte one, not the shimmer one. This is used a lot on flower petals, and that gives it a nice, more realistic look to it, almost like an ombre color. So as you see here, I have one with it already and without it, so you can see the big difference, how more realistic this one looks. That's why I am using it instead of just leaving it like this. You can, if you don't want to, go ahead and buy that. And you can just leave it like that, but this does give it a nicer look to it. So I just put a little bit of it in the cap, and just with a brush, I'm going to brush it just in the inside of it. And I have a pretty sturdy brush, and just go ahead and just brush it on there. Just make sure that your icing has had plenty of time to dry. Continue adding more and more of it until it has a nice deep color, and try not to go too far out or else your whole petal will turn orange. Alright guys, so I'm going to continue on with this, and I'm going to put them all together because that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so there you have it, your sunflower cookies. I think these are nice to give as birthday gifts, not only for the fall season but also for summer. Also, if you're having a frozen fever theme party, you can make some sunflowers for that as well. And of course, you can give some of these out for Thanksgiving to teachers, neighbors, friends, family. Super easy to make, and they're so cute. Alright guys, I will let you go. I hope you are enjoying my Thanksgiving video lineup. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And have a good one.